Hi, everybody. I'm Coach Doug O. I'm your health coach here at the Three Waves Clinic in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I am a free service to the employee and spouse's dependents on the insurance plan. And today we're going to do a lunch and learn on sodium explained. It's not just about table salt. Now, the reason why I'm doing this lunch and learn today is because I also want to help you get a better score for your biometric event, which is your health risk assessment. By helping you out now, we can get better results later. So let's begin, shall we? All right. Key points today that we're going to go over is going to be about sodium versus salt, what the difference is. Sodium recommendations. Yes, we have to be mindful how much we're consuming. The health risk involved with consuming too much sodium. Common sources of sodium so that you're aware so you can make those good choices. It's called mindfulness. We're going to show you how to read a label to know where to look for sodium, and then how to reduce sodium intake. And I'm also going to go ahead and go over how to improve your score for when you do your biometric events in regards to sodium content. All right, first of all, what is salt versus sodium? Okay, salt is a combination of approximately 40% sodium and 60% chloride. So that's what salt is. Sodium is a component of salt, but they are not one and the same. Now that you know what it is sodium required for health? Actually, yes, it is. It's not all that bad. It's not all negative. So, yes, it is required for health. Sodium is required to maintain fluid and mineral balance. Okay? Contract and relax muscles and to conduct nerve impulses. So it is important. We don't always want to associate with negative, okay? Now, you might see electrolyte drinks that have sodium in it. They're not all bad. Just be careful how much you actually take in. So that leads me to my next slide. What is the recommended intake for sodium? In a study done in 2015, the dietary recommendations or the guidelines for Americans are to limit the intake to 2,300 milligrams per day. All right. The American Heart Association states you should be better off limit to 1,500 milligrams per day if you can. All right. And yet the average American consumes closer to 3,400 milligrams on average. Now, sodium is in a lot of things, everybody. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. But we have to understand, okay, what our recommendations are. Okay. I would say 15 to 2,300 is still a lot better than 3,400. Now, how can we actually hit those guidelines? Okay, well, we can use our free resources, okay, like putting our food into apps. One app that I know for a fact takes into account sodium is MyFitnessPal. That is free. You don't have to do the premium, but you can kind of see where things are coming from. But you have to put in all of your food intake, okay, whether that's breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, etc., and all your beverages. Sodium is in a lot of things. So track it and then try to get those recommendations in, okay? That 1,500 to 2,300. That's still better than the 34 that which most Americans are getting. Now, where do we get most of our sodium intake from? Okay, where are these sources coming from? Naturally, we get 12%. From the salt shaker that you have on your kitchen table, we get about 6%. Okay. Home cooking, when we cook at home, we make our own foods, that's typically 5%. So right now, 12%, 6%, 5%, that's not that bad. Where do we get most of our sodium intake from? Processed and restaurant foods. 77% of our sodium comes from restaurants and processed foods. Now, processed foods, things that are basically beefed up a little bit, so to speak. All right. Now, Common sodium sources, okay? All right. Those are things like I just mentioned, restaurant style foods, packaged foods, okay? They have to put in sodium to make the food last from the factory to our kitchen table. Processed foods, packaged foods, canned foods, condiments have a lot of sodium, okay? Foods packaged in brine, okay? Those are all sources of where our sodium is coming from, for the most part. So I want to tell you this so you can be mindful of it. Now, am I telling you that you have to eliminate restaurant foods? No. But what I am saying is I want you to consider moderation, and I want you to consider trying to do some cooking at home. Once again, 5% versus 77% of our sodium intake, that's a big change. Even if we did, cooking at home 2 times a week versus none, okay, will help you out. Now, what do we talk about in regards to health risks if we get too much sodium? Okay, what are some of the negatives here? Sodium increases blood pressure that causes the body to retain more fluid. With that extra fluid, it actually puts more additional burden on the heart and increased pressure on the blood vessels. So, one thing that can lead to is too much sodium, high blood pressure, yes. But what does that mean? We could have a potential for a stroke or potentially heart failure. An increase in work and pressure can lead to stiffened blood vessels, which leads to increased blood pressure, once again, heart attack or stroke. Those are some very important things that we want to be aware of to hopefully eliminate. Okay? So, yes, too much sodium has some health risks. Okay? All right. How are we going to be mindful? If we don't, want to put our food into MyFitnessPal, which I totally understand. It is a process. It's almost like a part-time job. Okay? But let's do this. How can we make it easy? Let's look at food labels. High levels of sodium may seem hidden in packaged foods, particularly when a food doesn't taste salty. So they like to hide it in there pretty good. But sodium is not hidden on the nutritional facts of a label. So you can do the taste test, but the label is going to tell us a lot. All right. So how can we do this? On a nutritional facts, it is going to have serving sizes. Okay. It's going to have a serving size per container. So we need to be aware of both of those. And then halfway down, typically underneath where it says total fat, cholesterol, you'll see total carbs, proteins, sugars, dietary fiber. You're going to see a sodium on there too. Okay. Once we find sodium, you want to look for the percent daily value for the sodium in the food you are considering. You can see at a glance if the sodium in one serving of the food contributes a little or a lot to the recommended amount you should be eating a day. So if it's at 7%, that's going to be a lot better than 30% of your daily value, right? So you want to look for packages or same food items. If one says this package over here, package A, has a sodium percent daily value of 7 versus this box that has 25% and everything else being equal, what do you think would be the better choice? The lower percent value for your daily intake. All right. So that's one way we're going to find out how can we make changes. So look at your food labels. Okay. All right. Find out what you're consuming, and then we can make better choices. So other than looking at food labels, what are some other ways to reduce sodium intake? Well, yes, you read food labels. Keep things fresh. The fresher the food, the lower the sodium intake. Watch meat products closely. Meat has a lot of sodium in it. It's gotta make it from point A to point B, which is from the factory or the store to your house. Okay, what you can do if you have canned foods, rinse them out. If you have some canned green beans, you know what? Get a strainer out and rinse them out with a little bit of water. That'll help get rid of some of that sodium. If you want a little extra flavor, without the salt shaker, use some herbs and some spices. Use condiments in moderation. I'm all about moderation. I don't like elimination of foods, but I do like moderation. That is going to help. Okay? Do what you can, not what you can't. And last but not least, pay attention to serving sizes. Not only is that going to help with sodium intake, but it's also going to help with maintaining a healthy body weight as well. Okay. All right. The DASH lifestyle. Okay. How can we make more changes? Once again, the things I just mentioned, but increase your fruit and veggies, increase your whole grains, choose low fat dairy versus high fat dairy. Keep an eye on or limit your saturated fat and your regular fat dairy. And last but not least, activity plays a part in keeping your sodium levels in check. Okay, I love exercise. I hope everybody does too, somehow, some way. Okay, but that activity is going to help lower our sodium, okay, which is going to help our blood pressure. But we have to aim for about 30 to 60 minutes most days of the week, okay, or a total of 150 minutes per week. Yes, you can break it up. Yes, it could just be walking. Yes, it could be weight training. Yes, it could be yoga. Yes, it could be cleaning the house. Yes, it could be anything in regards to movement. Okay? That is a big one. Okay? Also, drink plenty of water. Water is going to flush out the system a little bit as well. So, how much water should you consume on most days? Well, take your body weight, multiply that times 0.60, 60%, and that's how many ounces you should have a day. Now, that might seem a lot, but start off slow. Okay? Yes, water is better than other products that hydrate you because it flushes out the system. You have some beverages, in your water that might contain some other stuff. You could be adding more sodium into your diet. Okay? So, make sure you drink more water. Okay? Add a little flavor if you need to. Okay? By infusing it maybe with some lemon or some lime. Or if you want to do a little drop, that's fine. But keep an eye on the sodium and the sugar intake you put in there. All right, I'm going to leave you with how can you improve your score for your biometric or your health risk assessment? Well, I'm going to say it again. Drink water. Staying hydrated is so important for healthy blood pressure. Also, watch the amount of packaged, processed foods you eat. Those are everything from crackers, chips, granola bars, candy, cereals, and even sauces and dressings have incredibly high levels of sodium, sugar, and unhealthy fats. While those ingredients allow them to sit on a shelf for years without spoiling, they aren't necessarily great for you. Sprinkling salt on your home-cooked dinner is not where people run into issues with sodium. Typically, it's the high sodium levels of the processed foods, especially with the low-fat and non-fat options. Okay? So watch your processed foods, okay, that you buy in the stores and at restaurants. I'm not saying don't have them, but what I'm saying is moderation. Think about it this way. If the fat is removed from something, flavor has to be added back in somehow if people want to sell their food, right? Most of the time, manufacturers do this by increasing the sodium levels in their food. Yes, everybody's looking for trying to make a buck. And yes, we want good tasting food. But remember, everything comes down to keeping things in moderation. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to thank you for your time today. Hopefully, I did give you a little bit of some useful information on sodium. I hope I explained it very well. And if you still have questions, I do want you to reach out to me, Doug O'Laughlin, your health coach at the Three Waves Clinic here in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, if you have any further questions. Once again, if you're on the insurance plan, feel free to call me right at the clinic, 920-267-5332. Otherwise, feel free to reach out to your HR coordinators, and they can be the middleman to get a hold of me too. Thank you for your time. Have an amazing rest of your day. And remember, when your biometric and your health risk assessments are coming up, start now. Start now making changes so you receive the results when you do your event. Always here to help. Have a great day. See you soon, everybody. Bye now.